Well, I am a 21-year newspaper career woman, but then had a leap of faith moment in 2005 and was called to some other area of communications. I just didn't know what at the time. And long story short, over the past 12 years, I've become very active in helping an international ministry called Telios. I do newsletters and coordinate projects with our partners in Kenya, Tanzania, and Romania. And then I also have a small business where I work contracted jobs doing corporate newsletters or different projects. I'm currently working on a 100-year history for a local public water utility. I also work at the Upcountry History Museum in Greenville, South Carolina. You know, NFPW, I think, found me. I was working at the Spartanburg Herald-Journal right out of college, and South Carolina did not have an affiliate. It was a young affiliate. We formed in 1980, and I started working at the newspaper in 1984. And some of our colleagues at the paper started the affiliate and just were always encouraging those younger co-workers to come see what it's about, come join. And so I finally did, and it was like, oh, well, okay. And so we'd go to our affiliate meetings, and then I entered the contest and won. I think it was a second place award, and that was the conference that spring was going to be in Las Vegas. So who doesn't want to go to Las Vegas? And 1994 was my first NFPW conference, and I hadn't looked back. For me, it's always about continuing to further the profession, and to do so as our code of ethics so eloquently describes, with the highest professional standards and ethics and adherence to the people's right to know. It is so critical, and never before have I felt more strongly about that than today. But over the course of my membership, and certainly during my tenure as president, it was an undercurrent for me to always continue to keep that at the forefront. But it was also a time, I was president from 2005 to 2007, so we were transitioning and moving the ball forward for encouragement and engagement of younger professionals. So we still wanted to connect with our more senior members and work together to help recognize that lessons learned from our foremothers could still be applied to those who have come along in a different kind of world, with technology or with expectations or how they view their work. And so my goal was to really bridge the gap, so to speak, to help intergenerational connections be made and values to be shared, with adherence, again, to what we stand for as a professional organization. We have, as a result of the times we're living in, have a renewed sense of where we need to go and what our commitments need to be as a professional communications organization. The First Amendment isn't just for journalists or for press people or for communicators. The First Amendment is the U.S. Constitution's First Amendment, which means it applies to all Americans. And I think it's been attributed mostly to press people over the course of its time, but I think I found myself being more of an advocate, reminding friends and family that it's not just for people in my profession, it's for everyone. It's an exciting time. I think we've seen some changes, seen some struggles. I can't think of a national organization that hasn't seen some struggles. I think, though, that NFPW's commitment to the First Amendment, the working together as an organization to help fellow members, is one of the things that is a strength for our organization, and I don't see that waning. I see it actually growing, and that has helped us in good times and not so good times. And I think what we're able to do with that is remind even younger professionals that the face-to-face sometimes is where it needs to take place, not screen to screen. And we've seen some increased participation from folks a little younger than me. And it's just, that is another area that I think we have to focus on. It's, you know, we've all grown up now in different stages of how technology's impacted our lives, and certainly every component of our profession. But I think it's critical that in these conferences we still promote the advantages of being one-on-one with somebody or in a group, so you can feel the encouragement and the support. You know, I come from a small family, so you know, when we say family reunion, it's like call my sister and then we're good. But when I talk about NFPW and friends across the country, knowing that I get to see them at least once a year is really, it's a special feeling. And to also know that sometimes you don't have to actually say out loud the struggles you're going through. You just get here and inherently they just know. And just that hug or tap on the shoulder or just the, I know what you're going through, but I'm here for you, can make a big difference. And then the connections that you make, you never know when you might need them on a professional or a personal level. And having access to friends all across the country, sometimes it's just, it's kind of a warm feeling in the sense that if you're stuck in an airport or something happens, oh, I can just call a friend from any one of the states that we have members in. I think bridging the gap or helping people understand that for all of the advantages that technology now affords us, the very real, personable connections that you make will never go out of style. It doesn't mean that we still can't avail ourselves of technology and all the conveniences or the immediacy of being able to connect that allows us, but never underestimate the power of two or more committed people, whether it's in an organization or whether it's in, you know, a special emphasis you're working on with a project. There are strength in numbers, and I think that it just takes a commitment and a continued reminder from each of us to each other that we are needed and that what we believe and the standards that to which we hold ourselves carry forward, because it's often not what you say but how you say it. And if they see us being committed to those First Amendment tenets and the support of the people's right to know, then the conversation starts to change.